Hey everybody, it's James here from GoodGuitarist.com, and today I'm going to show you how to play We Shall Overcome. This is mainly based off the Pete Seeger version, and the chords are pretty basic. The strumming is interesting, but I also have a bit of an easier way to strum it that I'll show you as well. And really quickly before we get started, after this lesson, if you want to go play along with the Pete Seeger version, you have to put a capo on the 3rd fret, and that'll put you in the same key as him, but you know, you don't have to do that. We're not going to use a capo for this lesson. Anyways, we're going to start off with the chord shapes, and the 3 main chords in this tune are G, C, and D. And I have a whole method for getting really good at switching between those chords, so please look down below for that. There's my free ebook, my beginner's course. On my Patreon, I have an easy songbook. I have a few ways to work through it, depending on what type of learner you are. But anyways, this is mainly the G, C, and D chords. We also have E minor, and there's also an A7 chord, which is pretty straightforward. We're going to be coming from E minor, and we just have to move one finger to make A7, so that's pretty easy. And at one point, we can optionally insert this diminished chord, D sharp diminished. It's a really cool sounding shape. We don't have to use it, but I'll show you how to if you'd like, or we could totally ignore it. Now, if you're not amazing with all those switches, don't worry, because we're gonna work on that right now. The first quarter of the tune is just G and C. So it starts off, we shall overcome, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So I'm strumming G 2 times, C 2 times, and then G 4 times. That's our first little bit, and then we repeat it. Let's try that together nice and slow. You can always rewind it and do this as much as you need to until you get it, right? So starting off on G, 1, 2, 3, 4. G, G, C. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now this next section has all the rest of the chord shapes in it. It goes like this. We shall overcome someday. And then we hang out on D for a while. 8 downstrokes. 5, 6, 7, 8. So for that part, 2 times on G, and then C, D, E minor. We have to get through all of that. So that's what I want you to focus on first, going 1, 2, 1, 1. Just like that. Just try that a few times. You can even pause the tape, try that. And then once we get to the E minor, we're gonna strum it twice. A7 2 times. And that switch, take a look at that. So I remove my first finger, and then I put my ring finger down on the 2nd fret. And that's our A7 chord. You can play it like this, do whatever's comfortable for you, but that's the fingering I use because it's super efficient, and I've taken a lot of time to make my playing more efficient. You know, it's a really good way to get better. Anyways, so we have our E minor chord, 2 strums of that, 2 of A7, and then D, 8 strums. You could even switch to D7 if you want, up to you, either work. So let's try that part super duper slowly. And once again, you can always just go through this as many times as you need. It's the trickiest part of the song. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So that's the first half of the tune. Let's put that all together now, nice and slow, downstrokes only. 1, 2, 3, 4. We shall overcome. 2, 3, 4. We shall overcome. 2, 3, 4. We shall overcome. And this isn't a singing lesson or anything, but if you do want to learn to play and sing this song, it is really good, really easy to do it rhythmically because the words line up with the chord switches, you know, like overcome. So I'd recommend just doing it downstrokes and trying to sing if you want to get to the point where you'll eventually be, we shall overcome. Might as well add the singing now before we get too complicated with the rhythm, you know what I mean? Anyways, that's the first half of the tune. Now, before we learn the rest of it, let's take a look at the strumming. There's two ways that we can do it. There's the way that Pete Seeger does it. It goes like this. And all we're doing there is going down, up, down, over and over again. Down, up, down. Down, up, down, down, up, down. And as far as the strokes are concerned, that's a really easy strumming pattern. But the trick with this one is to get the feeling of it. You know, if you just go, it kind of misses the point. You know, you have to add a little bit of a groove. The way to do it is to strum it like this. So I go down, like a full downstroke. And then on the way up, I just kind of a little wimpy upstroke. And then a wimpy little downstroke. You know, so full downstroke, then a little one on the higher strings, and then a little one on the lower strings. And if you need to kind of calibrate the rhythm there, I recommend counting, going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and So the number is the big stroke. 1, and then and, that's your up, and then that's your that's your little downstroke. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then you gradually get faster till eventually 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we shall. And alternatively, if you want to just make this a bit easier, you can use the most common strumming pattern ever, just down, down, up, down, up, and it fits in totally well too. You know, just I'll do it once through the first half. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. You kind of have to change the way you're singing it a bit, but I'm pretty sure Joan Baez's version is in that time signature as well, so listen to her for any tips on the singing part. Anyways, now pick your strumming pattern. We're going to use the Pete Seeger version. Like I said, this lesson is basically the Pete Seeger version of the song. And we're going to do that with all the first half of the song, everything we've learned so far. And something that might help you keep track of where you are, when you're watching those chords go above my head like that, every one of those blue slashes is a down, up, down. So on G, we have 2 slashes, so we'd go down, up, down, down, up, down. You know, we do it twice. So that's how you keep track of where you're at. Anyway, starting off on G, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we shall overcome. 4, we shall over. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we shall. So the one part that you might have to put a little extra time into is we shall once on C, once on D. You know, that part. You have to do it one time on C and one time on D. So take your time with that and work that out. And when you're ready, rewind, play along with me until you get it. Because now we're going to take a look at the rest of the chords for the tune. This should be pretty easy from here on out. First, we'll just play through it with downstrokes only in the simplest way, just following along with the chord shapes. Starting off on G once again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Deep in my heart to Yeah, so that's a lot easier than the other part. If you want a challenge, the I do believe, we can add that diminished chord there. It'll go like this. I do believe. So you can just practice that on its own, just going 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you could even go just between those two chords over and over again. So take some time with that. Make sure you can do them with downstrokes only. Now we're going to add the rhythm to it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and D in my heart. All right, so we've learned it all in parts. All that's left to do is put this whole thing together. And if you need extra help putting this all together, I have the chart available on my Patreon. I forgot to mention that sooner. But you can always print that off as you go through this lesson, and that'll make it a lot simpler. Let's just try this out, starting off on G. A 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We shall And that's all there is to it. You just do that same thing, but change a couple words, and that's the rest of the song. If you need any extra help, don't forget about my resources. My beginner's course is designed to help you learn to play stuff exactly like this, to get your fundamentals of rhythm and chord switching down. My Patreon page has the chart for this. There's my free ebook. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That really helps support the channel. You know, any bit of support that I can get is going to help me make this channel even better. So I really appreciate it. Otherwise, have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.